Those persons with co-occurring disorders who are seeking stability in their lives confront many, many difficulties. First, there is the road to discovery, the how, the why me? And then there's the road to recovery, which is equally difficult to traverse. There is stigma, there's prejudice, there's lack of finding the proper place to get treatment. There are so many barriers in their lives. They find that they must seek everywhere, and sometimes it seems an endless search to find the appropriate treatment plan, the appropriate treatment personnel, a place to go for treatment. Let us join them now as they share these adventures with us, and we'll find just how difficult it may be.
I really wish that I came into 12-step programs when I was 51. And I really, really wish that I had known where to go earlier without the stigma of being a drug addict or an alcoholic or an incest survivor. I had no idea where to go to let a safe place.
Yeah.
Because in my family, when I finally told someone, I didn't get any help, and so I didn't know where to go.
Okay, what I wanted to ask is, at what point did you realize you were dealing with more than one issue? That it wasn't just your substance abuse or just your, mental health issues, or when did you realize you actually were dealing with more than one diagnosis or more than one problem?
When I tried to get help, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what really. But then I look at my family past and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And bipolar. And they kept saying you have to quit drugs before we can help you. And I couldn't do that. And I went into a rehab and they said you have to quit drugs before you can come in. And I'm like, wait a minute, if I could quit drugs, I wouldn't need a rehab. But I knew all along, ever since I was a kid, I had problems. I was not quite right. I was not quite the same as other people. And I think that's why I gravitated to drugs. One thing to fit in, and then it actually helped. I wasn't quite as manic and stuff like that, so it actually helped for a while.
But I started doing drugs at a very young age because my dad was a drug dealer, and so I grew up pretty much thinking that hearing voices and seeing things was pretty okay. It was normal. But as I got older, they would get worse, so I would drink more because alcohol is what controlled the voices most of the time. I've been in and out of Rio Hondo a lot of times because people would take me there and drop me off because they didn't know what else to do. They would give me medication and I would take it and I would run, but I did not understand that it would help me. It was much easier to, take a hit or get a drink and I'd get an instant, release instead of having to wait so long. So in and out I went, in and out, and pretty soon, the very last time I went to a 12-step meeting because I was told that I had a drug problem, and there was people there who had told me about the COD group, and they had given me a flyer, and I had read the flyer, and everything on that flyer was me, and it was like, wow. And I was to the point where it was like, if this didn't work, I wanted to die.
I knew something was wrong with me all of my life. I felt like I was crazy, but I felt like I hadn't always been crazy. I felt like something had made me crazy. And drugs and alcohol were just a way to escape from everything for me.
And I believe it was Augustus Hawkins Hospital. And I went there and I laid myself at the mercy of those people. And I didn't know what I wanted done, but I knew deep within me that I couldn't go on the way I was going on. And at this point, it wasn't so much of the addiction and the alcoholism that had gotten to me. Just my life as a whole, my depression, my sadness, because prior to that I had tried recovery numerous times, and not knowing that I had mental issues, thereby not dealing with those mental issues, feeling miserable, feeling worthless and hopeless, I would always go back to the drugs.
I really didn't see the second disorder. I knew that I was sleeping a lot and that I was watching movies and I was crying for no reason. My daughter was the one that actually made me get off my butt and go to a mental health facility, see if I could get rid of the depression. I didn't think I had depression because when I was doing the drugs, I would sleep for days. But I wasn't crying at that time. And after I got done doing the drugs, I slept one time for a month. I didn't get out of bed for a whole month. And then crying, I mean, I would cry for something happy and then cry for something sad. I just couldn't stop the crying, and it got pretty embarrassing out in public and just breaking down for no reason. So that's what got me into treatment.
Into mental health treatment?
Yes, mental health treatment.
Or were you already in substance abuse treatment at that point?
No, I'll tell you how it started. I got a trip to the mental hospital March 6, 2002, and that was the first time I've ever heard an outsider tell me that I had a substance abuse problem.